All right, let's dive into one of the weirder corners of the internet. There's this trend where people are getting paid to act, well, like robots. It's called NPC live streaming, and trust me, it's making a lot of us ask some really uncomfortable questions about performance, about work, and maybe even what it means to be human in this digital age.
And, people have strong opinions on this. The first thing you'll hear from a lot of folks is that this is, well, a degradation of human dignity. That it's just plain wrong.
But then, you've got the other side of the coin. Some people are arguing that this is actually a more honest way to make a living online, maybe even more transparent than what we're used to. So, which one is it?
Okay, so before we can even try to answer that, we really have to get on the same page. We need to break down what's actually going on here. What is NPC streaming, and how on earth did it become this huge viral thing?
So here's the basic idea. It's a live performance where a streamer just imitates a non-playable character from a video game. Those background characters that have the same few lines over and over. Viewers send tiny payments, these little digital gifts, and each gift makes the streamer perform a scripted, robotic action or phrase. So you might send a virtual ice cream cone, and they'll go, ice cream's so good. Or you send a cowboy hat, and you get a gang gang. They're basically a human vending machine for catchphrases. It's that simple.
And what really drives this whole thing is this super simple, but honestly really powerful feedback system. It's called the transactional loop. And let's just break down how it works.
So here's the play-by-play. Step 1, a viewer pays a few cents for one of those digital gifts. Step 2, the streamer gets the notification instantly. And Step 3, they perform the exact scripted reaction for that specific gift. No ad-libbing, no changes, and then the whole thing just resets, ready for the next payment. It's this incredibly fast cause and effect loop that can happen literally thousands of times in just one stream.
And it's inside this simple loop that the really complicated debate starts to brew. Is this some new form of creative expression, a way to gain financial freedom, or is it a symptom of something, I don't know, a lot darker about our world online?
Yeah, this question really cuts to the core of it all, right? At what point does performing like an object stop being this ironic artistic choice and start becoming just a way to pay the bills? Are these streamers really in the driver's seat, or are they just reacting to the pressures of a really tough gig economy?
So let's really lay out both sides here. The argument for empowerment goes something like this. This is a totally savvy, entrepreneurial move. It's a new kind of performance art that's perfectly adapted to the market. The whole point is the predictability. That's what people are paying for. But then you've got the argument for exploitation. And that says, no, this is about the automation of the self. It's what happens when economic pressure forces people to literally sell off bits of their humanity, one predictable reaction at a time, just to get by.
But, before we rush to judgment, maybe we should take a step back and ask, is this really all that new? I mean, if you strip away the TikTok interface, the whole idea of people performing repetitive, on-demand tasks for money, well, that's been around for a very long time.
I mean, really think about it. Is reacting to digital gifts that different from a factory worker doing the same repetitive task for piecework pay? Or a court jester who had to entertain the king on command? What about a modern customer service agent who has to stick to a script word for word? It really makes you wonder why this particular version feels so strange to us.
This has led some people to coin a really fascinating and kind of chilling phrase for this, the human API. Okay, so an API, an application programming interface, is basically a set of rules that lets one computer program talk to and control another. And in this analogy, the streamer is the program. The menu of digital gifts is the list of commands, and you, the viewer, are using money to literally program another human being's behavior in real time. It's a powerful way to think about it.
So what does it all mean? What does the fact that this is so popular say about us, right now? Well, here's the twist. Maybe, just maybe, it's a sign that people are actually craving more honesty in a digital world that often feels completely fake. And to get that, you really have to compare them to traditional influencers. Think about it. For years, the whole influencer model has been built on selling this illusion of authenticity, right? This idea of false intimacy, where they make you feel like you're their best friend, but the friendship is actually the product. NPC streamers, they throw all of that out the window. They're making it crystal clear, we are not friends, this is a transaction. The reaction is the product, period. And in a weird way, there's a kind of radical honesty to that.
So in the end, this whole trend is like a mirror for our digital culture. It's not really about a few people acting silly on an app. It's about a world where everything feels like it's becoming a transaction. And that leaves us with a really big and maybe kind of unsettling question to think about. When we pay for predictable, controllable human reactions, what are we training ourselves to value? And maybe, more importantly, what do we risk losing when it comes to the messy, the unpredictable, and the genuinely real parts of being human?